So we're recording now. So I just went through a warm-up for this weighted workout, and I, in fact, just put on my weighted vest. I have a disc, and I will reiterate, in the industry, talking about fitness industry, this is called a non-compliant surface, right here. It's a spongy, foamy type of a mat, okay? Some of you have just a pillow, which is fine. That's a non-compliant surface as well. However, when you step in the middle of a pillow, it's really non-compliant, meaning it will shift the batting. See how I just went from one foot to the other foot? I have about 30 pounds on me right here in my vest. If you want to pick up a bag of beans, a little can of food, any of that type of thing, if you want to put on a backpack, you can do any of that to add a little weight to the beginning of this class, okay? So right now I'm doing movement and loading through movement. So what am I doing? I'm stepping on that non-compliant surface right there. I'm pulling my tummy in, okay? And remember, we just did patterned walking, and then I step over and I come out of the move. Now I'm going to put my foot back on the pad, and then I'm going to shift my weight backwards. And remember, I'm doing all this with my own body weight, which is what you're doing, a lot of you. But I've added about 30, 35 pounds in a weight vest. So see how I just helped myself up to this? This is about a 2-inch pad, okay, that I'm stepping on. Then I'm going to step off, okay? And I'm going to come down. And I'm doing all this with my own body weight plus a 30, 35 pound weight vest. I'm going to weigh it today to make sure all the little discs are in. So I'm going to come up, okay, just like that, and come over, all right? Now I'm going to push back, and be careful with your knee. Those of you with knee issues, this is where you get into trouble. You wonder, you know, some of these very small moves that I hone in on, some people just looking on would say, well, that's a simple thing. For people with joints that are compromised, it is not a simple thing. Man, I am putting pressure into my midfoot, then I'm putting it into my whole foot, then it goes into my knee and my hip and all the way up, okay? Then I step down and I step down. If you have some injuries, you need to be doing these movement patterns with no weight, okay? No weight. So I'm going to step up with the other leg, and I'm going to step over. Now I'm going to press, and whenever I press, I push my butt back. I keep my tummy tight. My foot, it's very important that your foot be straight on. And because of that, it's going to send some of you rocking and reeling if, in fact, you're doing this on a pillow or, you know, just do it on the floor. Those of you who are struggling with injury, just do this on the floor. You don't need the complication of a pillow or a non-compliant surface. Wow. To me, that's lawyer speak. They make everything so complicated. Anyway, I digress. I've been seeing lots of lawyers recently. Anyway, okay, so now I'm going to do the other leg. Here I go. I'm right here. I'm going to step over, and then I'm going to come back, okay? Take a big breath. I'm going to come over, and I'm going to come back. So before I come back, I'm going to do what with my hip? What am I going to do with my hip right now? I'm going to drop my shoulders, tighten in my tummy. I'm going to push my butt back first. Then I come into a positive load up through the knee, through the hip. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath, 1 or 2 more. Here we go, over and back. Hi, y'all, coming on. Here we go. Breath, yeah. Step down, all right? Big breath. Straddle your pillow, your disc, or your non-compliant surface. So if I'm doing this on the floor, and if it has a carpet, it has a little bit of a non-compliant surface, okay? Not a lot, but a little. I mean, if you're on like a tiled floor, that's a very compliant surface because it's solid. Are you getting what I'm talking about here? Okay, so I'm going to go wide. See that? Just like that. Take a big deep breath. I'm going to come across from here, go into here, and then I'm going to come up and cross over. Okay, this is a tricky maneuver, so stay with me on this. I'm doing this with an added like 30, 35 pounds on me, okay? Then I'm going to come back and go way wide. I'm not going to come straight back. See that? So here we go again. Step wide. See? I'm wide. Now I'm going to go to the other leg. I put my leg here, right in the middle, from that wide range. Now when I come up, I'm going to go across my midline. Some of you are going to have a really hard time going across your midline here, okay, without moving your feet all around. So do it on the floor if this is a problem for you. Do you see that step? See, I came from a wide trajectory with my feet. Okay, ready? So I'm going to come back wide, stay wide, and then come back down. So that bending is just enough to mess with your brain, okay? And it's a scared feeling. So let's try it again. And if you are having that kind of a reaction to that move, make sure you do this where there's a chair in front of you, or there's a wall or a desk or something that you put your hand on, okay? So let's do two more. Are you ready? So I've got my weighted vest on. If you don't have a weighted vest to add weight on you, you could have 2 bags of rice, 2 bags of beans. You could have a can of food. You could pick up your weights. That would be fine. Light, you know, or go as heavy as you want. It's not really for you to grip right now. I just want to add weight to your frame, okay? So here we go. I'm going to go step in the middle, okay? Now when I leave my foot here, I'm going to go across my midline. This is where you would hold on to, you know, a chair or something like that, okay? So here I go. I'm stepping wide, see? I'm going to go across and plant my foot there. Okay, and they're pretty straight, but if that's throwing you, make sure you have a chair around you. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go wide again, and then I'm going to come back down. Okay, all right, now I'm going to step with the other foot. I'm going to come here, and what am I going to do? I'm going to leave this wide trajectory and go across my midline while I'm juggling or supporting this extra weight vest. My knee is soft, my rib cage is up, my shoulders are down. I'm going to put a chair here if I need it. I'm going to bring my leg up, cross my midline, and come down. And so this is a 2-inch drop for me. So it's whatever a drop. Now, from this position, see, I have to get back. And that is almost too much for some of us, okay? So what am I going to do? I'm going to do that little stutter step that I taught you in the warm-up. Those of you who came on the warm-up, you know what I mean. Those of you who didn't, this is what I mean. See, stutter step. See, stutter step. You're going to go wide because you came from wide, right? Then I'm going to go wide again. See that? So I'm trying to put you in different trajectory positions and then get you out of it. All right, then I come back in. Take a big deep breath. We've warmed up. We've done some of our first major loads. Whether or not you have anything on your shoulders or a weight vest, I have a weight vest. I want you to step in the middle of that foam or that non-reactionary, this very high reactionary surface. See, this is a high reactionary surface. meaning it's soft. It's moving me all around, okay? The floor is a non-reactionary surface. So you get my drift here, huh? Okay, so I'm going to turn my hands up. I'm going to pull my hands out. Okay, there we go. I'm going to push back on my hip, then I'm going to pull my thumbs back. Then I'm going to bring my hands right in here. So I'm not going to use balancing with my hands. I'm going to be supporting whatever weight that I have picked up, whether it's in weights in your hands, whether it's in 2 bags of beans, whether it's in 2 cans of beans or nothing. Some of you have had major injuries. You use nothing. Bring your hands across, hang on to whatever you're hanging on to, okay? Now I want you to just soften your knees. Just soften your knees just a little bit, okay? All I'm going to do, I'm not asking you to shut your eyes or anything. I just want you to rotate into one supportive leg. Then I want you to bring the heel up. The minute that you have brought the heel up, I will guarantee that most of us, see, I included myself, bent forward. Don't do that, okay? Tighten in your tummy. Hang on to your shoulders here, or hang on to the weight that you're picked up, or your weight vest or whatever. See, I put my heel up. Now bring rib cage up. Okay, now I'm just going to bring my toe off the pillow or the high reactionary surface, okay? And I'm just going to bring it up, and I'm going to make my foot, my ankle, my knee, my hip, say rib cage up, support this whole maneuver. It's surprising how difficult this can be, okay? And I'm doing this so that you will be aware of where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are as far as balance goes, and managing a weight load, okay? I have about 30, 35 pounds on me right here, all right? Now I'm going to shift. We're going to be into the other leg. So when you shift, don't shift to the outside of your foot. You want to be on all 4 corners of your foot. You want to kind of push the middle of your foot down is what you want to do, okay? Soften your knee, breath, tight tummy, drop your shoulders, go to your heel. Go to your toe, which means pull your heel up, okay? So you're managing all of this right now. Open your supportive foot up. Some of you are gripping with your toes. Try not to do that. My knee is soft, okay? And I've just got my heel up on the other leg, and I'm thinking about, that means I'm fixing to lift my toe, okay? So I'm hanging on right here. I'm not using my hands to balance with. Of course, now I'm going to lift my toe up, and I'm going to try to maintain this stance. If I have to catch myself and get back on it, I will. Keep your knees soft. Make your ankle, your foot, everything work hard. Trust me, if you have a 35-pound weight vest, or if you've grabbed some weights and you're hanging on to them up here, either here or here, you're working. Okay? Try to stay on that foot, then put that leg down, and you're on 2 feet again. Say rib cage up, soft my knees, drop my shoulders, drop my chin in. Yes. All right. Now I want you to take one leg, step way back. Okay? This is going to be difficult for some of you with plantar fasciitis, with hamstring issues, with knee issues. Stepping back can be a very daunting type of a thing. Okay? So say rib cage up. So I'm stepped back. Okay? Straight leg. But now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to turn for the next one so you'll see what I'm doing. I'm going to bend my knee slightly in the back, but I'm going to keep my heel down, okay? And that should get your attention right there. I'm only going to do it for just a few seconds. Then I'm going to step back up. Got that? Step back up, okay? Feel the balance. I'm going to step back with the other leg. So I'm going to step way back. Okay? I'm going to drop my heel. My leg is straight. Say rib cage up. The front leg, the knee is right in line with the ankle. It's not over the toe or anything. The back foot, make sure your toe is pretty straight. It shouldn't be turned out like a duck, okay? So now I'm going to bend my knee, and I'm going to keep my heel down. So those of you that struggle with plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, listen, you can regain function just through, you don't have to do any big, huge stretch program. You know, actually do it while you're doing your activities. See this? Step off of any, you know, step anywhere, hang on to the sides, keep your leg bent straight, and then bend it with your heel down. Do it just for a couple seconds, and you're good to go. Then you step out to release, back in, tight tummy, breath, breath, breath. Notice if you're shoulder breathing or if you're diaphragmic breathing. That's a very important thing. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little pad in a little different way. Some of you may not want to. That's fine. Okay? You get special compensation here. I'm going to let you have special leeway. I won't call you a slug. So I'm going to step on my pad. Again, I have a weight vest on, okay? So I wish you could be here. I'm looking out at 4 deers right on my lawn right out here. And all I'm thinking right now is, yes, they're pretty, but I'm thinking ticks. Oh my gosh. Yes, I know. Okay. Looky here. I'm going to do a bridge over. See, here's my chair. Okay, you can bring it as close as you want to. Mine's pretty far, all right? I have 35 pounds on me right here. Okay, and this one, those of you who don't have a backpack, you don't have a weight vest, that's okay. Just do it with your own body weight. I'm on an unstable surface, okay? It's called a non-compliant surface. That's what it's called. And that's just, you know, terminology that, you know, they've come up with. It means an unstable surface, okay? So I'm going to come down here, and I'll see, I'm going to reach out. See that? See, I'm coming down here, and I'm going to reach that chair. Do you see what I just first did? When I came down, I pushed my hips back. See that? My knees were already softened, okay? I'm going to keep my chin tucked, my shoulders down. I'm going to reach for this chair, and I'm going to go into that chair just like this. I'm going to straighten my legs, soften my knees. Straighten my legs, soften my knees. But here's what you should notice. Where is my shoulder in relationship to my wrists? That's what you should notice, okay? So I'm starting to put gentle load on my shoulders. Now, I have 35 pounds on my weight vest that's coming down into my arms, etc. If you have no weight, this is still gonna be a push, especially if you have shoulder issues. But this is very gentle, okay? And you can hang on to the sides. You can bring your wrists more neutral. You can bring them so that it's on the heel of your hand, so that it's, I have my weight gloves on. See what I'm doing? I'm bending my knees. I'm putting gentle load into my arm without bending my elbows too much. My elbows are simply soft, okay? Keep your tummy tight. This is a very good time to keep your tummy tight. Otherwise, it just gets in your way here. And you know, a little too much is coming down in the center. So you don't want to do that, right? I know there's a joke there somewhere, but I won't go there. Keep your tummy tight. That's it. Keep your elbows soft. And what is my shoulders doing? My shoulders are dropping down. That's my protection. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to hold right here. Now I'm going to bend my elbows, 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 bend my elbows. Come back, step in. Come back up, okay? Just by putting your toes on your pillow and going into that kind of a trajectory, it makes your joints work totally differently. So I'm going to kick the pillow out now, and I'm going to be on more of a compliant service, meaning it's a carpeted service, so there's a little non-compliance. If this was a hard floor, no compliance, right? That's a good way to classify kids. Compliant, non-compliant, a little compliant. Oh, my teachers are laughing. I know they are. Okay. So here's my chair challenge. So here's again, this kind of a thing is so much easier for me to accomplish load with a weight vest. And it's, 35 pounds on my, hanging off my shoulders. And then when I go here, it's a whole different kind of a weight load. But if you do this only with your body weight, it's very beneficial. So don't discount that, okay? So here I am at my chair. I'm going to put my hands down again. And I want Kathy to notice, if Kathy's on with me today, I just gave you a rest for your hands. That was called a rest. Okay, I'm stepping back, and I'm going to do what's called a high plank. Okay, so this is a high plank. Then I'm going to push my butt up, and I'm going to go up just a bit, and then I'm going to come back down and put my heels down and go into that plank again. So I'm hanging out here, and then I'm going to go wide, wide. Then I'm going to come in. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to keep my chin tucked. Do not let your head hang like this. Pull the back of the head up. Tuck your chin. Go wide. Stay in a plank. Keep your elbows soft. Come back in. Take a breath. Go wide. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Elbows are soft, right? Let's just do 2 more. Hang with me. 1, 2. Step, step. Step back in. And one more time. Take a breath. Elbows are soft. Okay, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Push your butt up. Way up there. Take a breath. And then step in. Step in. Okay? Step in. I'm just going to hold it here for just a second. Then I'm going to step back, step in. So this is an excellent way to do a dynamic stretch. What does that mean? That means I'm stretching my joints, tendons, ligaments, muscles, and pulling on the bones in a movement pattern rather than just static holding. That's what that means, okay? Elbows are soft. Take a breath. And then step back and come up. Big breath, okay? Good, good, good. Now I'm going to pick up my weights. Now some of you already have your weights. Some of you don't have any weights. Perfectly fine. Life happens, you guys. We misstep, we overdo, we have things happen to us. And sometimes you just don't feel like you can do like weights. And so you might pull up a YouTube, one of my YouTube things. And those of you who are coming on, my YouTube channel is totally for anybody to use. If you like it, it will let you know when I've loaded in new videos. That's all that does. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to pick up my hand weights. So I'm going to pick up a medium weight today. I'm going to start with a medium weight because, in fact, I've already put pretty big loads in my shoulder, okay, and in my upper back and in my arms. So I'm going to go from here. Okay, I still have my weight vest on. Those of you who don't have a weight vest or don't choose to use one, that's fine. Do this whole thing with your body weight. See if you can move through all these ranges of motions that I go through using weights with just your body weight. That's a winning combination right there. Okay? Now, I'm going to go like this. So see, I'm hip hinged. I'm going to pull this here, and then I'm going to push this here. Okay? So this is going to be working in opposition. And I'm hip hinged, my chin is tucked, and I'm in a position where I really am targeting the tricep muscle. My bicep muscle is working, not as much, but that's okay. I am in a trajectory right here. I'm in my heels. Take a breath, push back, and you bring one weight that's coming forward just to your shoulder, and the weight that's coming back just to a straight arm. And then you keep your shoulders in the same position. See, I don't move my shoulders here. My shoulders are my stability, okay? Then I'm doing what's called perpetual motion. What does that mean? That means I'm not giving you a number. Sorry, Kathy. That means I'm moving continually against a load. Breath, push into the heels, keep your rib cage up, shoulders down. Breath, push and pull. So you're pushing, pulling. Breath, pushing, pulling. There's Mac. My dog Mac is unimpressed with any of this. Breath. He's only impressed if I bring out treats. Then he's impressed. So I can't say that word too loud, or he'll get up. Breath. Keep your chin tucked. Shoulders down. Breath. Just two more. Just two more. Just two more. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Breath. Okay, one more. Okay. Now, don't forget which arm was going back and which arm was coming front. Don't forget. Okay, I'm going to turn this away. Okay, so just so you can see what I'm doing. So let's get our checks. Remember, when I go into a hip hinge, today, for me, when I do my hip hinge like this, I got 35 pounds that I'm trying to, that's working, that I'm pulling against. Trying to stabilize with my whole spine musculature, okay? So now I'm going to put I'm going to change. So the opposite hand is on my knee. This hand is right here. So I'm going to go shoulder, and I'm going to go back. And then I'm going to just pull them together. So I'm going to come shoulder, push back. Bring it to the shoulder, push your elbow straight. Drop your shoulder. Some of you are doing this with your shoulder up here. That would be a mistake. Drop your shoulder. As you come up, you press back. Breath. Breath. Drop your shoulder. Breath. So I'm hip hinged. So that I'm out, reaching out with my body just a little, because I'm trying to work against that load in a specific way with my back extensors. So I'm pulling and pushing. Here's the pull. Here's the push. Breath. Breath. And if you were doing this with no weight and you held this position and you just worked it through with no weights, you would be doing yourself a big, 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 big favor to get moving, even with no weights. So I've got 9s in my hands, and I have about a 35-pound weight vest on me. Breath. I'm in my heels mostly, but then I go into the midfoot. Breath, breath, breath. Just two more, just two more. Stay with me. We can do it, we can do it. Just one more, one more. Okay. See, I stopped because I knew if Kathy's on, I'm not sure if she's on. I knew she would be yelling at me. Okay. So here I am. Okay. Take a big breath. Now I'm going to do both hands. Both hands are going to go in the same trajectory now. So why do I do this? Why don't I just keep doing one and then the other like I did? Because I'm trying to get your brain to wake up as well. Okay. So now I'm going to bring these just like I'm putting them in my pocket. See that? Just like I'm going to put my weights in my pocket. They're right here. Now, the minute that some of you raised your weights to right here, you pulled your shoulders up. I know you. You did it. Drop your shoulders and then put the weights in your pocket. Got it? Feels different. I know it. So drop your shoulders. Take a big deep breath. Now you're going to do more than just a hip hinge. You're going to really bend over. Now you're going to push them back and you're going to roll your shoulders in together. Then you're going to bring them back and you're going to push them. Roll the shoulders in. Breath. Roll the shoulders in. Breath. Roll the shoulders in. Keep your weights very close to your body. Take a breath. Stay in a bent over position from your hips, not your waist. Breath. Drop your shoulders. As you push and roll those shoulders, you want to drop the shoulders into your back. Just drop them right down. Breath. Now roll. Breath. Now roll. Breath. Roll. Breath. Roll. Just three more. Just three more. We got this. Roll. Breath. Roll. One more. Ah. And come back. Nice. Okay. I'm going to put these weights down. I'm going to step wide. I'm going to hip hinge. Keep my back very extended. Put my weights in. Take a big deep breath. Shake out my hands. Okay. Now I've kept this on through my warm-up and all the way into this part of the class. So now I'm going to just take it off. See? It's a Velcro. These discs are put in here and little slits in here. You can take as many out as you want to. You can start with 5 pounds. Then you can go up to 8 pounds. Then you can go up to the whole thing. And I think I'm fully loaded here. So I will step on the scale and I will measure it for you because I kind of forgot what this was. Because I have a female one and a male one. The male one's usually a little bigger and weighs more. Okay. So now I'm going to go up in weight with my weights. I'm going to still use my little disc and I'm going to use my chair. Okay. Now I've been focusing a lot on arm, back, and core because I've been loading you, right? So now I'm going to go up in weight. Okay. I'm going to use 2 of them at first. So what have I gone to? I don't know if Nancy's on today, but I've picked up 12 pounds in each hand. Okie dokie. I want to show you, like when I have my weight vest, and some of you are like, oh, I don't have my weight vest, like she does. Well, just pick up a little heavier weight, bring it up, put it right on your shoulders. See, like that? Yeah, see? You can keep your hands under it if it hurts your shoulder. That's okay, just like that. See that? Then I'm free to do whatever I want to do. But let me warn you, this is my caution. Those of you who have a tendency of tripping, It's because you're not picking your foot and toe up enough. And if you have weights coming down on your shoulders and your hands are not helping you with your balance, and you do this kind of a thing and you catch your toe, that's enough to kind of singe you. And if you go like that with weights here, that's not good, okay? So I'm giving you caution. I'm saying be very aware of how you're moving, especially if you chose to put heavier weights up on your shoulders. So see, now this simple step up turns into a little bit more of a challenge. Take a breath. And so I don't get too fancy when I'm stepping and then people have like weights and their hands are holding the weights, okay? Because I don't want to encourage any misstep. And so I want you to be very conscious right now that your tummy is in, your shoulders are down, your rib cage is up. Bring the knee up. So many times we trip on rugs and so forth because we're simply shuffling our feet, okay? And some of you are going, oh yeah, that's what sent me down to the floor. I caught my toe on this, I caught my toe on that. And yes, it happens, but you want to have it happen less and less and less because you want to pull the knee up. See, I'm stepping up on purpose. I'm bringing that knee up on purpose and bringing it back down. I'm bringing it up on purpose and bringing it back down. So again, if you chose to do this with no weight and you chose a non-compliant surface, okay, meaning a pillow, okay. When I read that in one of my fitness journals, I wanted to write them back and say, could you just put in parentheses, pillow? But then they'd have to explain pillow for my teachers. See, I know what you say is correct, but it depends, where you're at. Take a breath. Yeah, just one more. Just stay with me. See, if you even do this, step up, step back, and you do it for 1 to 3 minutes, or you do it for 3 sets of 10, or just start with 10. You're putting load all the way down your spine. You're giving your legs specific direction, meaning I don't want to trip. Pick my knee up. Pick my foot up. Yeah. Take a breath. Okay. Now I'm going to take them down. So I do that little hop, and they're right here. Okay. So now I have 12 pounds in both hands. All right. Now I'm going to do a bunch of up above my head stuff with heavier weights. But I can do very good shoulder tasks. If I want to make this more challenging, I will simply step on my little disc. Do you have to? No, you do not. All you have to do is step forward just a little bit. See, as if you're going to take a step. Do it on each leg so you feel what that feels like. So here's the deal. Many of us, when we start going through our day, we don't think too much about the trajectory that we've chosen. Meaning, the minute you take a step, I want you to see if you can hone in here. The minute you take a step, this is what happens. You see that? You want to walk without doing that. That means rounding your back, rounding your shoulders, jutting your head out. So tuck your chin, drop your shoulders. Now you know what a step feels like. I'm going to step onto the non-compliant surface or the pillow or the disc. You can just step a normal step onto the floor. See that? If you have any weight at all, or even if you don't have weight in your hands, this is weight-bearing activity, okay? So don't beat yourself up and say, oh, well, I just can't lift weights today. Fine. That's okay. You're moving. This is a good thing. Okay? I don't know if Doris is on. Doris is having a birthday soon. We got to sing her a happy birthday. Jane just had a birthday. What I need to start doing is wearing birthday hat. I have a birthday hat that I could wear for everybody. If you just email me and tell me so-and-so's having a birthday, I'll put the birthday hat on. Won't that be fun? See, I'm holding it in this pattern for a reason. Okay, come back. Drop your shoulders. Step forward. See, I'm not on my disc. I'm trying to show you that even without weight, if you do this kind of a walk, okay, split stance walk. You have to split stance or you don't even walk. Now I'm going to put my foot on the non-compliant surface. See there? Okay? And I just have my toe down. And do you see how I've equalized out from my shoulders all the way down? Okay, I'm holding on to these. I'm going to pull my shoulders to my ears. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm primarily on that front leg, but I'm not over leaning. See, don't do that. Tighten your tummy. Hips are level. Shoulders are level. My toe is back here. My knee is soft and I'm pulling. Breath, pulling. Breath, pulling. These weights are 12 each and they're hanging from my fingertips. Bend the knee, breath, breath. Yeah, hang on with me. Let's just do 2 more on this one. Okay. And 1 more. Good. Now I'm going to step back. Okay. I still have these here. If I need to, I'll put them down, take a break. But if I can hang on to them, I will. Put your other foot up there. And you're on your toe in the back. Drop your shoulders, bend your knee, and pull the shoulders to your ears. Here we go. Pull the shoulders to your ears. Breath. Yeah, hang on. Breath. Hang on. Breath. Stay with me. All the way up. Big breath. Just 2 more, just 2 more. Keep your knees soft. Okay, 1 more. And down. And step down. Okay, now we're going to use our chair. I have heavier weights. I'm going to back into my chair. I'm going to sit down carefully. I don't know about a lot of you, but I'm having a wasper problem. Somehow they're getting up into my attic. I used to not worry about this, but I'm worried about this now. Okay, here we go. Kay's out there laughing right now. I know she is. Okay, hip hinge. All right. I'm going to bring those elbows up this time, just like before. Only we're going to hold on to them. Shoulders are down, and we're going to push our arms straight. So yes, we're into the second set or third set, whichever how you want to count it. Take a breath. Rib cage up. Hip hinge forward. And now you're just going to do little flicks. See this? It's just bringing it up, pushing it back against that muscle. Bringing it up, pushing it back against that muscle. Pushing it back. Breath. Pushing it back. Breath. Breath. Push. Breath. Push it back. And now hold it back there. Squeeze those arms, those shoulders together. See, hold it back against that weight. Hold it there. Roll your shoulders in. Keep your arms straight. Roll your shoulders. Arms straight. Roll your shoulders so they're pinching the shoulder blades together. Yeah. Then bring them down. Put them right there. Shake out. Shake out. Shake out. So there are those of you who are out there who have noticed that I'm ripping on the triceps today. Yes, I am. But I'm showing you lots of different other moves around using those triceps, okay? So I know lots of people that stress and stress and stress, and they want to know what do you do to not have flabbiness back here, okay? I'm using that as a quote. That's what people tell me. And I'm like, well, to really not have the flabbiness back there, keep having your birthdays. It's going to happen, okay? Unless you got a good surgeon, and then you won't be able to move your arm because it'll be so tight. The skin will be so tight. I don't like that. So I choose to work my muscle as much as I can. You're going to have some amount of loose skin as you get older, okay? Excuse me, as you have your birthdays. I mean, you can deny reality if you want to. That's okay too. It's a lot about a genetical issue. It's how your skin tends to be. So it's a lot of stuff like that. And it's why I just die laughing at advertisements that use people that have no problem with it or have little problem with it, saying it's going to happen to all of us. So I would just say, don't take any wooden nickels, as my dad would tell me. But strength, you can do something about. So let's do it. We've already been doing it, working against the load, okay? Now I'm going to take my body weight, and for those of you who are short, vertically challenged, fun-sized, we'll say fun-sized. You put your hands here. You rock your butt to the edge, okay? See, I could push myself up straight from here because my arms are long. My legs are long, okay? This is art. But if you want to put good load behind here, up here, and not hurt your joints, you drop your shoulders. I stepped out. I'm on my heels. If you want to make it more challenging, put it on the non-compliant surface. Keep your knees bent. Help your butt come off the edge of the chair, but only barely an inch, okay? Just have it come off the chair and then straighten your arms. That's it. See this? This is positive work. This move has gotten so much bad press, and it's gotten bad press because it's been taught and done incorrectly. If you do this correctly, this is a great way to strengthen the whole back of your back, upper, and the back of your arms. Okay, so you should feel, when you go straight, you should feel the backs of those arms innervating, okay, contracting, okay, they're working. See, I just go straight with them, then I go 1 inch. I don't go way down. I don't hurt my shoulders. My shoulders are down. Breath. And again, here somebody will say, well, how many did I do, Jean? And I'm going to say, how many can you do? Do as many as you can, and then do one more and then quit. I got one more. Sit your butt back on that chair. Swing your arms. Okay. I got people out there that have shoulder issues. I understand it. This might be too hard. So you know what you do? You go to the wall and you drop your elbows in and you press them back. And you're very close to the wall. And then you do it more and more where your feet are out. You drop your elbows in, you push it back. See, you start there. Then you get a high bench. Then you get a chair. Okay? That's how the progression should go. Okay, we're going to end as we're coming into the last couple minutes with weights, and we're going to use our weights to hit our leg muscles now, because I primarily focused on triceps, biceps, a lot of shoulder motion, a lot of ambulatory balancing with weights today. So now I'm going to go into my squats. What better way than from a chair? I'm going to grab my weights, okay? I'm going to hip hinge in, and I'm not going to stand totally. I am going to stand at the end, but I want to really hit those hips, okay? I want to hit those hips, so I'm staying here, and I'm going to go touch and come back up. See, I'm going to touch the back of my legs, come back up. I'm hanging on to my weights, touch, come back up, Heels touch, come back up. Breath. Heels touch, come back up. Stay into the heels. Breath, keep your chin tucked. Breath. Touch, come back up. Touch, come back up. Breath, touch, come back up. See, I'm saying touch. I'm not saying sit. Touch, you're rocking back and forth. Now stand up. Wow. So I should have heard screaming out there. Okay, so I'm going to go down into a squat position, and then I'm going to come back up. Take a big breath. Are you ready? So we're going to do the fold with this 24 pounds, or whatever poundage you chose, or none. None. That would be fine. See, I'm going to go down, down, down. I'm going to come right there, and then I'm going to come back up. Take a big deep breath. I'm going to put my weights up. I'm going to do a wide stance. So I'm going to use some of the moves that we use warming up. I'm going to drop in. I'm going to really work through the groin there. Then I'm going to come up, put my thumbs back. I'm going to come into the other side. I'm going to drop my hip until I feel a nice stretch right there, just to loosen up my motion. Then I'm going to come up, turn my thumbs back. Then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to lean on a leg. I'm going to straighten the leg. Then I'm going to drop the hip until I feel this right here in the groin. Take a big deep breath. Do one more on the other side. Thumbs out, shoulders down. I'm going to go over all the way. Drop this until I feel this stretch. Then come center, come up. Take your arm across, and at this point, drop your shoulder. Then pull across. That's what you want to do to get a stretch through here, okay? Without screwing up your shoulder. Tight, soft knees, go across, drop your shoulder right there. Drop your shoulder, then crank it in. Yes, just like that. Take a breath. Take a breath, bring it down. So I will title this lifting session, because this is a Friday lifting session, and I will say the triceps have it. And that's going to be this workout. Okie dokie.